Hey Burnout Crew, welcome back to the Burnout Block. So it's July now, it's been about a month since our last video, and I just wanted to update you guys on some of the stuff we've done since our last video. I know I said last time that we had a lot of new parts to put on the G6, a lot of stuff we wanted to do this summer, and I just wanted to kind of touch base on what all we're going to be doing. So today in this video, I have some good news and I have some bad news, but I wanted to start off with some good news, with the first thing being one of the mods that we've installed on the G6. So if you haven't seen on the Instagram, this is what the G6 taillights look like. I said in the last video that we got the new blacked out taillights from Spec D in to put on the G6, and this is what they look like. We did actually make a video doing the install. Unfortunately, it just didn't turn out how I wanted it to. So I figured I'd just reveal it on the YouTube video here. We released a couple pictures on the Instagram a while back. So if you follow our Instagram, you would have seen them already. But if you haven't, this is what they look like. They look really good with the black. It really helps the car with its blacked out aesthetic. They turned out really well. Unfortunately, the LED bulbs that I originally got to put in these did not fit. I'm gonna have to get some new ones. I don't know if I want to do that yet or not, but I do like how these turned out. Some other good news is that we'll be launching our own branch of the Burnout Block called Burnout Block Photography. That is going to be a photography business that I will be running on my own. If you want to get pictures of your car taken, your truck, your SUV, have a private photo shoot of your vehicle, I can do that. That will be a separate branch of the Burnout Block that we are starting. I just launched it today. I haven't even filled out the bio or anything yet. I just got the name from Instagram. So we're going to be launching that over the next couple of weeks. Really try to get some content put out there. So not only can we take great pictures of people's cars so that they have that, but that also gives us more content that we can put out there for you guys to see. So if you want your car, truck, or SUV in a photo shoot, DM us at burnoutblock_photography. We're going to be starting that up, just like I said. That'll be what we're working on the next month or so. Some other good news is that I am going to be chasing one of my childhood dreams, and I'm going to do my best to not pull time away from the YouTube channel to try to chase that, but one of my biggest dreams when I was growing up is to try to be a professional wrestler. And I've been talking to a company out of Cincinnati for a couple months now. I've gone to a lot of their shows. On the side, outside of our YouTube channel, I've been working on videography for them, doing commercials and stuff like that, helping with their production team. And I'm proud to say that I'm going to start training with them soon. It's a company called FGW, which stands for Future Great Wrestling. I love their company. I love everything that they've done so far. I've been to about 5 or 6 of their shows. I really like the audience, all of the backstage work that they put in, all the other talents on their roster that works so hard to bring a good product. I'm so excited to be a part of their family. I'm ready to chase that dream of becoming a professional wrestler. So not only will we be running the channel with the Burnout Block Photography, but in my free time I'll also be doing professional wrestling training. Hopefully about 6 months from now I'll be on shows, actually performing in front of an audience. It's about a 6-month training period, so I'm really excited. But again, I don't want to take anything away from the YouTube channel. I'll be making sure to try to do both at the same time so we can balance content for you guys. Obviously I still love cars, I still love working on cars, so I want to keep that passion as well, but I want to branch out into something new. I haven't done professional wrestling before, obviously, and it's something I've always been intrigued by, and I'm ready to try it out. Another mod that we did recently that I really think changes the look of the car, because we didn't have anything really aesthetic on the car yet over the 4 years that I've had it, is I put on a really nice underglow kit. Now it might seem a little bit tacky or a little bit ricey. I know everybody has their opinions on underglow, but our buddy Aaron, who's got his Stance Civic that looks really clean, I bought the same underglow kit that he has, and his has held up for months now. I think he's had it on for almost a year now, actually, and it was only a $70 kit. It was super cheap. It's super easy to install, super easy to use. It's got a mobile app that you can change colors on, all that kind of stuff. Weatherproof. It's just a 3M tape installation. It was super easy. It only took me about 2 hours. So I got that on, and I'll show you guys real quick what it looks like. All right, now obviously it's a little bright in here because of the garage lights plus the sun coming through, which even when I turn the light off, not really that big of a difference. I have it set to purple right now. I think it looks really good. How I wired it was I wired it in with the low beam fuse. That way, anytime the low beams are on, the underglow will come on as well. That means when I lock the car, after the 15 or 30 seconds or whatever, the underglow will also turn off, so I don't have to turn it on and off by myself. It looks really good. It's color changing like I mentioned. I set it up on the front, on the sides here, which the sides are probably the best view right there. I think they look really nice. As well as the back. They're super bright. They look really good at night. It's kind of hard to replicate that with the garage just being closed. And now on the front here, it's underneath, but I also sent it a little bit through the grills. Not too much to where it's distracting, but just a little bit through the grills as an accent. And I think it looks really good. I'll go ahead and change it real quick to red so you guys can see what that looks like. So this is what it looks like when it's set to red. This is my favorite way of the car being set up, obviously because of the black and red color combo that I have in the car. It looks really good. The camera doesn't do it justice. It's a really nice dark, like blood red, and it looks really good. Obviously the camera can't really capture that, but it looks really good at night. Again, coming through the grills there, it looks really good, especially when it's paired with the red fog lights, which aren't on right now, but the red and black combo looks really good on the car. Unfortunately, you might have been wondering why I had it running on purple. In the state of Ohio, and I'm sure many other states, red and blue accent lighting on civilian vehicles is illegal. It's recognized as emergency vehicle coloring. And in Ohio especially, I know for a fact that they will say you're impersonating a police officer if you have it on a vehicle, which obviously you don't want that. So red can be what I use for the track, red can be what I use at car shows, but when I'm driving, I like to keep it on purple. Not only because it's a cool color, but because Aaron and Paige also run those on their vehicles. It's kind of our little team color, so I think the red looks really good though. Through the app, there's also about 120 different featured color combos that you can do on here. Obviously right now you have the rainbow mode. But on the app, you have a whole bunch of different settings you can put them to. Like there's a wave feature right there with the red. Same one with the different colors, which is pretty cool. You can also change the brightness of them. So you can turn the brightness down. You can also change the speed, which obviously that would be, the high speed would be very distracting. You would definitely get pulled over. But it's just something pretty unique. And then obviously you have your whole bunch of solid colors as well, which obviously I like having it set to purple. On the good news end of things, there's one last thing I'd like to mention. I mentioned in a previous video that we are working on new shirt designs, working on new just products for you guys to have. I mentioned t-shirts and tanks. I am still looking into that. I'm still designing different shirt designs on my computer. I like the ones I've made. Unfortunately, it kind of comes down to that spare money being around. And there's a reason for that. Not that I'm super broke. Obviously, I'm spending money on car parts, so it's not like I'm scratching by, or, scraping by with every penny. But not only are shirts expensive right now due to, the global economic stuff going on from a certain disease going around over the past 3 years, but also the fact of, we don't have that many people to sell shirts to yet. As much as I want to sell a whole bunch, it's not going to be cost effective for me to spend $1,000 on shirts to sell them to like 5 people. So I thought of doing a pre-order. I might still get around to that, but the reason I brought up the money scenario is because, segueing into the bad news, I'm gonna have to get something new soon. Not necessarily a brand new car, but something new to me. The bad news is that while doing the G6 underglow install, was underneath the vehicle obviously, and there's a lot more rust on the vehicle than I previously thought there was. Obviously we knew about the quarter panel rust, which I also had found out is starting on the passenger side quarter panel as well. Obviously not as bad, not through the paint yet. So I was like, okay, I can fix that. I'll sand it down. We'll get it, some Bondo on there, primer it, paint it, and it'll be good to go. Unfortunately, when I got underneath the vehicle and really started looking, the driver's side, I know for sure, side skirt had some rust looking water coming down by the actual plastic molding, and I was like, oh no, it's starting there. I'm gonna have to deal with that quickly. And then I got underneath and I was looking at it, and it's rusted all the way through the side skirts, which is obviously very upsetting because I've tried really hard to take care of this car. Even though I have raced it and dailied it for almost 5 years now, it's still super difficult. I've tried not to get choked up about it because I love this car. It sounds stupid for it just being a whole chunk of metal with, you know, wheels on it, but I love this car. It's my first car. I'm trying really hard to take care of it and maintain it. And when I saw that rust, my heart just dropped, because it sucks living in Ohio because everything rusts out. And I still get compliments like, hey, you have a super clean car. I'm like, if you knew what was underneath, you wouldn't say that. Obviously the side skirts have rusted out. The pinch welds have been super frayed and, you know, just worn out for a long time. And I've known about that, and I've tried to get that fixed before. And I had a lot of shops say locally that they wouldn't touch the body rust. And so it's going to be really hard to find someone that's going to try to touch rust for the chassis. I'm really going to have to start looking for someone to fix this, because if it doesn't get fixed soon, it'll rust through the floorboard and it'll be a mess to try to fix everything, since that's all going on. The good news from the bad news is that I get a new platform, which means we get to have new content on the channel, something other than just G6s, even though I know some of you guys really love the G6 content. I'm not saying we're giving up. I'm not getting rid of the G6. I will not sell it. If it burns to the ground, gets wrapped around a tree, crumples into dust, then that's whatever. But I'm sticking with this car until it dies. I'm not letting this thing go. I will put it on life support. I will make sure that I get all the time I can with this car. I know with the wave of electric cars coming in and, you know, everything getting more and more regulated, I'll probably only have so much time with this vehicle, but I want to have as much time as possible with it. I still want to do a motor swap on it. I still want to make it a high horsepower car, but to fix the rust and to fix all the problems that it has, because not only is it rusting, it's leaking about a quart of oil every 1,000 miles, and it only holds 4 quarts. So it's barely making it between oil changes, and that's not good. It's not really healthy right now. I'm still dailying it. It still burns through a crap ton of oil and gas, and it's not gonna be super reliable. And it hasn't really been that reliable with all the cooling issues that I've had over the years, but I want to get something else soon. Like I've said before, this is always going to be a project car on the channel. I want to buy a new daily though. After looking and weighing my options of what I could get, I think I've boiled it down to 2 vehicles. I know I said when we were back at the old apartment, I said in a video, you know, a couple of things like a G8 or, you know, Camaro, or I don't remember exactly what I said. I think it'll come down to more reliable, or better gas mileage, more space, but still be something that I can modify. That way it's still something unique for the channel. I don't want to get like a Prius. I know people modify Priuses, but just as an example, I want to get something that is still somewhat of a enthusiast car. I found the 2012 and 2013 Infiniti G37X sedans to be something that I would seriously consider, not only because of the more space, but because it's a 3.7 V6 that makes almost the same horsepower stock that Sam's Audi S5 made, and that's naturally aspirated, and that's pretty good. If I can get something like that for $15,000 that's got under 100,000 miles on it, that'd be perfect. There's plenty of them out there, so that, or maybe a truck. I know those aren't very good on gas, but for being able to tow stuff around, for being able to load stuff up, carry people, being able to do stuff like that, a truck would be useful. Other than that, I don't really know what else I could get. There's not really any low mileage, reliable 90s cars left over. They all have high mileage now. And all the newer reliable, like Honda Civics and stuff like that, are super jacked up in price right now because of gas prices. So I will figure something out very soon. I need to get something before this winter is the deadline. So as well as if I'm going to be driving all the way down to Cincinnati for wrestling now, I need to have something that's better on gas and not, you know, clapped out two-door G6. So we will find something soon. I will update you guys as we go. But the bottom line is that we've got a lot more work to get done. We've got a lot more to do. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for your support. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram at Nathan_BurnoutBlock. Follow the Burnout Block at the Burnout Block on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow Burnout Block Photography at BurnoutBlock_photography on Instagram. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.